So much of America started to open up this weekend. Crowds headed outside as well to beaches and parks. At least 49 states have now lifted some restrictions as the number of coronavirus cases across the United States approaches 1.5 million. The number of deaths is nearing 90,000.
We begin our coverage with the big debate coast to coast on how to quickly to reopen as new hotspots pop up across the country. One of them in Texas. Marcus Moore starts us off from Dallas with the latest. Good morning, Marcus.
Michael, good morning. Here in Texas, COVID-19 is not easing its grip in some parts of the state. As they have increased testing, the number of positive cases seems to have spiked in some areas as this state and others look to reopen. This morning, with nearly every state in the nation relaxing at least some restrictions, the U.S. reaching a grim milestone. 1.5 million cases of COVID, with the death toll nearing 90,000. This weekend, thousands flocking to newly opened beaches in Los Angeles, many sunbathing, which is now against the rules.
I think people are being pretty respectful.
Boardwalks packed in New Jersey, nail salons in New Orleans using plastic barriers. One restaurant in Maryland even using inflatable donuts to keep patrons away from servers. This restaurant in Cincinnati packed. Near Orlando, Florida, 7 people arrested after a chaos at a block party. Hands up! Deputies say they were hit with glass bottles. All as America's favorite pastimes show signs of awakening.
Here we go.
Sunday, the green flag waving. NASCAR returning for the first time in 10 weeks. But without spectators in the stands, drivers having their temperatures taken on the way to the track. Golfers back on the course as well. Pros carrying their own bags, no caddies. President Trump calling in to the PGA charity event.
We want to get sports back. We miss sports. We need sports in terms of the psyche of our country.
In hard-hit New York City, parks using designated seating circles and officers walking around with banners to make sure sunbathers have 6 feet of distance between them. Hospitalizations slowing in the city. On Friday, only 77 new patients entered hospitals with COVID symptoms, down from a high of nearly 1,700 at the end of March. And as tests become more readily available, the state's governor, Andrew Cuomo, encouraging anyone with symptoms to get a test to help with tracing, even getting one himself on camera.
That's it. Nothing else.
And finger-pointing in Washington. White House advisor Peter Navarro blaming the CDC for the country's initial lag in testing.
Early on in this crisis, the CDC, which really had the most trusted brand around the world in this space, really let the country down with the testing.
Now, as the U.S. opens, 8 states still seeing an increase in the number of new cases, including Texas, which reported its highest daily rate on Saturday with 1,800 new cases, many of them from meatpacking plants.
We're going through 110 gallons of sanitizer a week.
Food packing plants nationwide hotspots, along with correctional facilities and nursing homes, which have accounted for 1/3 of U.S. deaths. Back here in Texas, the gyms and office buildings will reopen today up to a 25% capacity. And the governor is expected to hold a news conference this afternoon where he will make additional announcements, Robin, as they work to control this outbreak.
Many are. Okay, Marcus, thank you. For more now, let's bring in ABC News contributor and former White House Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossert. Tom, it's always good to have you with us, and don't have to tell you about this debate that's raging whether or not it's too soon to reopen. What will be the indication whether or not that's the case?
Good morning, Robin. You know, unfortunately, it's a debate as if there's only 2 answers, and the real answer is that we're going to have to start planning to toggle between mitigation and suppression. So we're heading out of the suppression phase now, the one that's more effective, and we're accepting some community transmission as a result of this crushing blow to our economy. The sign is going to be, like it was in the beginning, outbreak numbers going from small flare-ups to larger trends in any community. It's not going to result this time, though, in a whole nationwide blanket shutdown. This time, it should be city by city, looking for cases that aren't contained in nursing homes or small areas.
Many people are encouraged because in many areas we are seeing a downtrend with the numbers, which again is quite encouraging. And the testing, where do we stand with that now, Tom?
Yeah, it's encouraging, and it's also planned in this approach. And so what you want to do is be happy but controlled, or a little bit modulated in our optimism, because now this return out of social distancing, it's a little bit different, right, Robin? So it's not less important to stay away from people. Testing is a problem. We don't have enough of it, but the testing standard is better now. So now anybody who wants a test or would even not feel sick should be able to get that test before they go into certain areas, congregate areas. We don't have enough of them yet. We don't have enough for this surveillance effect to take place. But I think we're going to see it result in a summer of low cases and then a fall of a return.
And what are you hearing with the doctors? Are there tests available? I mean, Governor Cuomo is saying there are people who should be tested and they're not, and people want to know why is that?
Yeah, well, there's tests, but they're distributed in different ways. So at hospitals, a lot of them have access to these tests for those that feel some symptoms and go looking for it. But there's not enough tests to spread out across the entire community to start this surveillance program looking for new flare-ups. Remember, a lot of people returning to meatpacking plants that never left work, that were in nursing homes. They need to be tested as they come into work every day or every other day so that we can start monitoring throughout the summer for when we return into a need for episodic suppression.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.